Good evening and welcome to Western Hall for Game 6 of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. We will have the Macomb Bombers and the Canton Little Giants. I'm John Reynolds. Alongside these two fine gentlemen, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey, John. Chris Rankhauser here, and Arlen Britton. Arlen,
out of the retirement
I was going to say
home
they died.
and back. You know, Doogie, it's been so long since you and I sat courtside. We're both grandpas now.
Yes.
Do you realize
yeah.
that?
Yeah, multiple times for me, Grandpa. And
Yeah.
when you were talking before we were on, you know, last year, new look for me on the north side of the
Yes.
gym after all those years of sitting on press row over on the south side. A little different vantage point, but I like it because we're the only ones on
That's
this
right.
side of the floor.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it and having John sit next to me. Now that I know he's a West Prairie grad, that's almost like my alum, the old Northwestern.
We graduated from the
we
same
made
building.
it from the
you know,
same
up
building.
in Scioto,
so
yeah, right.
I'll give him that.
I was the last class to graduate from that building, so I'll forever remember that.
There you go.
I never got to experience the new one. My brother did, but I never did. So it's like you kind of make that trade-off. But we're just about 35 seconds away from tip-off here. If we are on time, we are, and we're actually running early. It is 10 minutes early. This is supposed to start at 5:30. And
hey, that's the beauty of this.
Never going to complain about starting early. Of course, so.
No, and it a little schedule changes from the years past for folks that thankfully, media-wise, we like that they moved up those late games to 8:30 instead of the 9:30 starts of the final game of each night. So it makes it a little earlier evening here. And as we said in Macomb Western Holiday Tournament history, you better be ready to start things early, because if they can start a game early, they're going to start early.
I like the new session setup, too.
Yes, I do, too.
I believe we are going to do the national anthem here at Western Hall.
And Game 6 between the Macomb Bombers and the Canton Little Giants. Richard Dick Froween, a longtime member of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament Committee, passed away on November 27th. They also played for the Western High in the second year the tournament was held. Our condolences to his family. Would you all please join us in a moment of silence? Thank you. Would those who are able please rise and remove cover for the singing of our national anthem by Aaron Harrison.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Aaron.
The great Aaron Harrison there, able to perform the national anthem. She did a beautiful job as we are ready to go. The Bombers and Little Giants. Macomb comes into this one with an 8-2 record, and Canton with a 4-6 record, but should always be a good game when you get these teams in an atmosphere here like Western Hall and in the Macomb Holiday Tournament.
Yeah, and Arlen, this goes back to our days of doing things back over at Canton. These two squads saw a lot of each other in the Canton Thanksgiving tournament years ago.
There was some awful fierce battles back over at the Palace of Alice, as we still affectionately call it. But, yeah, you know, actually the Thanksgiving tournament over there was one of the highlights for me to go, because you knew that you was going to see some good basketball. And when Canton and Macomb got together, sometimes there was no love lost.
Yeah, there was some knockdown, drag-out battles between these squads over the years.
So we meet the starters for both the squads. We meet the Little Giants first, as we get those, and then we will meet the Macomb Bombers, who, of course, home here in Macomb, so they're obviously not too far away from Western Hall. Have a little bit of that home field advantage, or home court, of course.
Bombers coming in as the 4th seed.
Nolan Hogue is wearing number 0. You see him on your screen right now in the bright pink shoes. Drew Watson, we had a lot of him in some TSSR coverage. He plays a very good basketball game. As well as Malachi Conley wearing number 5.
At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 12,
Braden Holthouse, who can really shoot it beyond the arc. We've seen this kid with some really good three-point shots.
Number 25, Langdon Lambert.
And Langdon Lambert, who wears number 25, the man in the middle. Jeremy Anderson is the top of the Bomber bench. Been there, as you see him right there, as you see a little bit of the Macomb bench, as we are ready to go. The officials, Jason Danner, who talked to him a little bit in the pregame. We are ready to go. 8 minutes on the clock. First quarter between the Bombers and the Little Giants, of course, being the live chat. We've got that on all TSSR broadcasts. I love to interact with the fans out there. Bombers and Little Giants, it is Otto and Hogue to jump here, and Otto wins the draw for the Canton Little Giants, who will start things up. Working around the outside, now back to Otto. He won the, actually, excuse me, that's Logan Nichols. We have 2 Ottos on the court for Canton.
Twins.
Yep. The sons of Jeff Otto, as BJ Stone chimed in before. Letting us know that this is Lakin Otto with it, and that is now to Hoops, who loses it into the hands of Drew Watson, and the Bombers the other way.
Good job by Malachi Conley poking that interior pass away.
Braden Holthouse with a big 3. Gets the scoring started for the Macomb Bombers, who lead the way.
Sports Corner 3-pointer for Holthouse, a 3-0 lead for the Bombers.
That is Miles Hoops with the basketball there on the left wing. Swing it over to Nichols. Back to Hoops. He's going towards the baseline. Kick it out. Moving the basketball really well. 3-point shot. Good. 21, Colin Johnson.
Another Sports Corner 3-pointer, and tied at 3.
Holthouse will dish it out there to Lambert, who now swings it to Conley. Malachi wants a 3. He hits it off the back iron, no good. Rebound to the Canton Little Giants, who come the other way. Lay it up, lay it in. Miles Hoops, the 6'1 senior, able to cash that one in. There he is on your screen, 5-3. The Little Giants with a 2-point lead. We were talking a little bit about the size of Canton in the pregame show. You know, they've got some big guys here against, I guess you could say, a smaller Macomb team, but Canton just really big down low.
And 3 up off the front of the rim by Drew Watson for Macomb. And equipment issue, Malachi Conley need to tighten up the shoelaces there, so officials stop play.
Bringing things up, here's Lakin Otto. Otto is a 6'2" junior from Canton. Nichols going to the baseline, can't get the one to fall off the backboard there. falls to the ground and gets the basketball back for the corner three. It's up no good. And fought for another offensive rebound for Canton. Little Giants, third chance point. Can they get it? No. And Conley comes away with it. But a
foul in the back, I think, going to go on 21. Colin Johnson, his first, team's first.
Team foul number 1.
We cannot hear. We were having a slight microphone issue with the board. We can hear me and Chris, but struggling. Holthouse with a basketball. He's got it. And now to Conley. Swing it over to Hogue. Back to Holthouse, 14 on the shot clock. 5 minutes here left in the first quarter. Bombers and Little Giants from Macomb Western Hall here on the campus of Western Illinois University. Hogue loses the rebound there. He almost corralled it on the missed shot there by Conley. And almost a little bit of an elbow tossed into the face there of Malachi Conley. Johnson with the basketball. He picked up a foul on the last trip down the court. Now to Otto, who is blocked by Holthouse. Braden Holthouse got a hand on it, but Canton retains possession. And that one tipped around down low. Shot up and good. What a shot there. Number 24, Miles Hoop, 6'1" senior, cashing in 7-3. Little Giants lead by 4.
Hoops with 4.
Hogue will swing it out to Holthouse there on the right wing. Dump it off the top to Lambert. Now it's Conley. Good defense by Nichols, who got a hand in there and is able to get that one away, and the Little Giants will come away with the basketball the other way.
You know, Farmington's attack so far is much like what we saw with Peoria Christian earlier today. They force the ball up and down the floor, and right now they're trying to dribble penetrate into that Macomb defense.
Canton with the lead.
Nice spin move.
That one does not fall there. And now the Bombers come the other way. It's Drew Watson, full head of steam to the basket. Can't get it to fall. Nolan Hogue with a putback, and he is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. We'll see who the foul is on. It'll be on Canton Little Giant number 24, Miles Hoops. Hoops will pick up his first foul.
Bombers 4 minutes now without a basket. After starting the game with the 3, Farmington defense has really picked it up.
Into the game for Macomb, number 23, Nick Elby.
Nick Elby checking into the ballgame for the Bombers for Langdon Lambert.
Second free throw is good for Nolan Hogue, who cashes in 2. Cooper Hobson is into the basketball game for the Macomb Bombers. He wears number 22. There he is on your screen. Bombers wearing their white uniforms with the orange outline and the black trim. And Canton wearing the alternate purples with the white and gold. Those are your uniforms this evening. Offensive foul here against Canton.
I think that's going to go on Hoops, and that may be his second.
It is, Chris. On a hot streak, 2 fouls in a row, correctly called.
Note it, because it may not happen again tonight, guys.
3:01 mark the first period.
Looks like Bushnell has arrived. They will play in the later half. They are the next game. They will play against number 1 West Hancock, who is always a tough squad to play, and they were down to the nitty-gritty last year in the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. We'll see what they've got in store for us this year. Holthouse for 3. It rims in and out. The rebound of the Little Giants. That is number 42's recently checked in.
Zeke Grady?
Yep, that sounds correct. I believe had him in a JV contest not too long ago. He's one heck of a player for the Little Giants.
Nice
Holthouse to the basket. Count it, and we are tied at 7.
Holthouse with 5. As you said, John, now 7-7 ball game. 2:15 to play here in the opening quarter.
The Bombers really have kind of picked up the pace like we talked about. The Little Giants, that is, got off to an early lead, 7-3, but it's been all Bombers since. They've knotted things up with about 2 minutes to go here in the first.
That time, nice job by Braden to come over and a little assist on the defense. As we said, you know, Canton's not hesitant about taking the ball and trying to move the ball inside.
Absolutely, and a good heads-up play there by Holthouse. On the other end of the court, now he wants 3 to cash in, and he does. Braden Holthouse, the lead scorer for Macomb with 8 of the 10. That's 80%. Braden Holthouse, there he is on your screen with the big 3 there to give the Bombers a 3-point lead.
Nice job by Holthouse again. Had a 3 in and out. Bombers had some early looks, good early looks, just couldn't get some things to go down, and we're going to get a traveling violation. Turnover to the Bombers.
Well, we talked about the slow start by Macomb High. Since then, they've answered with a 7-0 run.
Must have heard yes. Of course, the Bombers.
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Isaac Lindbach into the ballgame for Conley from Macomb.
He wears number 3, Linebach does. There he is on the right wing. Now dumped it off to Cooper Hobson. Now to Holthouse. Why not? He's been red hot and can't cash there on that 3, and the Little Giants come the other way. Dump it off to Zeke Grady. Going to the basket as Otto swatted away by Holthouse. Have yourself a game. Braden Holthouse already playing really sharp, and a big reason why the Bombers have the lead. Hobson with it, dumps it off to Holthouse. Now up top, that's, I believe, Nick Elby, who's checked in. To Watson, back to Hobson, 12 on the shot clock. About a 33-second difference. Watson, dump it off to the corner. Linebach 3, up no good. Shot clock resets on the miss, though, and that one is in and out. And a little shove there.
Oh, it's going to stay with Macomb. I thought it was going to be a Little Giant basketball.
You see the little shove there at the end by Canton.
Oh, they're going to reverse
3.
it. I was going to say, I think they're going to reverse it and give it to Canton.
Holthouse come out a little gimpy on that. I don't know if he stepped on a foot. I think he's going to be okay.
Well, you hope so if you're Macomb. Holthouse, 8 points. You see him there at the top of the key, ready to play defense. Bombers by 3, 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. Bombers and Little Giants, game 6 of, I believe, 30, correct? From something along those lines.
Right.
26, 28, 30, something along those lines. We are just getting started in the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. Last shot up and just could not get it to fly through the hands. There was Otto.
26 games.
So 26, we're 6 of 26. I don't know what that percentage is, but here we are, 10-7. The Bombers lead the Little Giants by 3 at the end of the first. And we'll got some replays from the first. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at those here on the monitor. As our monitors kind of gone in and out for a moment, we'll get those replays here to you. Really balanced game, first quarter. The Little Giants, of course, got off to that 7-3 lead, but then it was all Brady Holthouse who came back and was able to get the Bombers right back into it with some big free throws and a couple of big threes as well. He's got 8 of the 10 leading the way.
Nolan Hogue with the other 2 from the charity stripe for Canton, led by the 4 Miles Hoops, and 3 for Colin Johnson. Be Bomber basketball out of the quarter break as we head to the second.
There's the Bomber bench right there. Their head coach, Jeremy Anderson, does a great job with the program here in Macomb. Always seem like they're playing in deep runs in the tournaments that they go to, and as well in the regional play as well.
I'll be anxious to see how deep on the bench he'll have to go tonight because of just the way the up-tempo play of Canton, whether they'll be able to sustain it. Now, the last 3 minutes or so of the first quarter, Macomb High handled it much better on the defensive end.
Absolutely. We saw Hobson check in, but it is the back starting 5 for the Macomb Bombers. So Hobson, and you get guys like Elby as well as Linebach for Macomb who can come in and give you those valuable minutes for the Bombers. But original starting 5, Watson for 3. It's up no good. Rebound to Canton the other way. It's Otto with it.
Gavin Otto, one of the twins for the Little Giants.
To the basket there by Grady, couldn't get it to fall. Bombers the other way. 7:19 left here in the second quarter. Bombers and Little Giants from the beautiful Western Hall here at WIU.
Nice pass. Oh,
Watson.
Nice tip.
Couldn't get it to finish, and mad about it, but Brady Holthouse, again there, he's got 10 of 12, and the percentage going up for Brady and the Bombers.
Brayton with, like you said, 10 of the 12 Bomber points here in the first half.
I'm going to check on that percentage. I don't trust myself with the math off the top of my head, but
An inside look by Canton, rebound down to Hogue for the Bombers.
that is 83% of the points coming off the hands of Braden Holthouse. So
Nice. Give and go from Conley to Hogue. And Hogue's going to go back to the line where he's already 2 of 2.
Bombers have kind of dodged one, though, on the defensive end. Last 2 possessions down. Gandy's had the ball almost a clear look at the basket and just hasn't been able to make it go through.
Right, kind of a reverse of what we saw in the first quarter. Bombers had some nice inside looks and couldn't get some shots to drop.
Right now, Coach Anderson, I'm sure it's like this is where we need to take advantage of the charity stripe. You have your largest lead so far of the game at 12-7, now 13-7.
Yep, want to hit those free throws. Those can always come back to bite you, especially in a tough game here. Canton's playing Macomb really well, despite the records difference of 8-2 to 4-6. Like we talked about earlier on, you know, you get teams playing in the Macomb tournament here, you get the high energy here at Western Hall, and anything can happen. So Bombers lead by 6, 13-7 with 6:13 left here in the first half. Nice find down low and a body foul there on Malachi Conley. And 2 shots will be coming.
Be the first on Conley, first team foul on the Bombers here in the second quarter.
No, 2 shots are not coming. I just saw the 2 go up by the official, but thought it might have been on the floor. It was. Johnson receives the inbound. He'll dump it off there to Hoops. He had a couple of fouls in the first, and Holthouse almost had to steal there, but could not corral it. Under 6 to go. Otto with it. Dump it to the other Otto, who's guarded by Watson. Jumper is up and no good. Bombers the other way. It's Drew Watson with it. Kick it up top there to Lambert. Now Holthouse for a 3, and it's miscalculated there as it misses a little wide. Conley using the bank, can't get it to fall. And the Little Giants away with a rebound there. Miles Hoops secures it. Johnson almost went down to the floor there. Instead dumps it off to Hoops, who cashes in, and the Little Giants within 4.
6 now for Hoops, 4-point Bomber lead, 13-9.
There's Miles Hoops on your screen as we just saw a close-up of him. 13-9, the Bombers by 4. 5 minutes left here in the first half. A really competitive game here so far between the Little Giants and Bombers.
Well, we said the Bomber defense, though, has picked up intensity as that was the first bucket, actually, of the second quarter here for Canton.
Otto the other way has it pickpocketed and stole away by none other than Braden Holthouse, who goes for the toss up to Watson, who can't get it to fall. Ball out of bounds, and it'll be Canton basketball.
Yeah, Lambert had a good look at the missed Watson shot and just left it off the front of the rim a little short, and it's like that maybe the lid's on the basket again for the Bombers here at the north end of the or east end of the gym here at Western Hall.
Well, we've seen that on both ends, because the defensive intensity inside is really picking up.
Always love a good defensive game. With the scoring we've had today, you know, the defense hasn't really been there, and you know, we had a 70-25 game earlier. And yes.
Yep, that's going to give you interference on Logan Nichols for Canton.
Nichols
may look good on the highlight reel, but you don't want to do it on your own hoop.
No, Nichols went up, and he can get up there. He was right at the rim, but a little bit of interference. He claps his hands in frustration on the other end of the court. Bombers with it now, 4:02 left here in the first half. It is Holthouse who swings it up top to Conley. Now dump it off to Hogue. Back to Watson, who dribbles it out there with Conley. Good defense by Canton and a turnover, and it'll be Little Giant basketball. There's Malachi on the screen.
Conley going to check out. Leinbach back for the Bombers.
3:42 left on the clock here. 13-9, the Bombers lead by 4. It's been a very low-scoring game. Like I said, the defense has stepped up. It's been a really tight game here in Game 6 of the Macomb Holiday Tournament. Hoops dumps it off to an open Johnson going to the rim. Can't get it to fall. He'll go to the free throw line, though, and shoot a pair.
Canton working that baseline very well with the ball movement. At time, Hogue kind of left a man wide open to drive to the hoop. He'll go for 2.
Foul on Hogue was his first, team second.
Here's the replay of that foul just a moment ago. Colin Johnson at the free throw line on this foul right there by Nolan Hogue. And he will cash and make them both. So a perfect 2 for 2 at the free throw line for Colin Johnson on the trip. And the Bombers lead now only up by 2 as they move the ball the other way with Isaac Leinbach. 3:12 on the clock here, first half. Bombers and Little Giants. That one in and out of the hands there of Drew Watson. Could not corral the pass from Elby.
I was going to say, Coach Anderson, I think it's about time to take a timeout. He's going to take one here. 3:02 to play.
We'll take a look at some stats and some live reads here in a moment.
All right, we're brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With over 80 years of sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.ronlb.com to check out their inventory. Also brought to you by Spoon River Colleges with campuses in Canton and Macomb, including the building that's being constructed on the east end of Jackson Street, Macomb. They offer a great start for all area college students, both academically and athletically. Find out more online at src.edu or call them at 309-649-6400.
I'd say that's a pretty fitting advertisement here. We got Macomb and Canton playing, and get Spoon River right here, who's got campuses in Canton and Macomb. So always nice to see Spoon River, and represented pretty well here by
nice new facility going on the east end of Macomb.
Yeah. Colin Johnson with a basketball at the top of the key. He's working with Nolan Hogue. Drives in, now kicks it out. Corner 3 is good. That is Miles Hoops, the senior.
Hoops with 9 of the 14 Little Giant points, and Canton now up by 1.
So a lead change here. It was a really Bomber lead for a majority of that second period, but now the Little Giants answer right back, 14-13. Little Giants the other way on the defensive stop. Dump it off. 3 for Otto is up, no good. Rebound to Nolan Hogue, and the Macomb Bombers the other way. Conley driving baseline.
Jump ball.
Jump ball tie up. It is the same almost as the turnover there as Canton has the possession arrow.
Don't forget, chat us up. Let us know where you're tuning into on this Thursday evening. Had to think for a minute with the holiday stuff what day of the week it was.
I'm getting messages from Canton fan right now myself. So Bombers a little frustrated, though, I think, right now, guys. You know, they had that 13-7 lead. Now all of a sudden Canton's going on a 7-0 run to regain it, and then another turnover by Macomb High.
Hobson checks back for Macomb as Hogue will check out.
So, yeah, Canton able to respond with that 7-0 run, like you said.
Hobson
really
with a steal for the Bombers.
Turning things over. Bombers the other way with Holthouse for the basketball. Minute 45 left in the first half. 24 on the shot clock. Playing with the shot clock. Always just kind of a new addition for recent years. Watson loses it, but Lambert dishes it out. Conley 3, no good. Otto with a rebound. I think Watson might have got away with a foul there as he came down hard on the rebound. And the steal away there by Malachi Conley. And a minute 18 left here in the first half.
Bombers right now basically just getting one shot.
Yeah.
Holthouse with a basketball. He'll swing it over to Conley, who's guarded by Otto. Now dumping off to Watson. Watson dribbling towards the basket. Gets it to fall. Yes, he does. Drew Watson. There he is as he cashes in the two. Bombers lead by 1.
Drew's first 2 of the evening. The Bombers, as you said, John, back up by 1 in a back-and-forth contest here late first half.
Almost 6 minutes, though, since the last Bombers field goal.
So, yeah, time of possession here. And, you know, I don't know the time of possession really, but as that, we are going to have a quick halftime interview here as Mr. Dwayne Hulett, our boss, is going to head over there to the Canton bench to interview the coach, and we are live with Dwayne.
A reminder, fans, that the winner of this game will play at 7 p.m. tomorrow night.
I don't hear Dwayne.
While the losing team will play at noon. Both games will be right here in Western Hall.
I don't have his. I don't know which one's his. 3. I got 3 turned up all the way.
Back over here at halftime, 16-15. Canton on top at the break.
A very close game here, the Bombers and the Little Giants. So 16-15 and some lead changes there at the end of that one. How about some unofficial stats from Chris?
All right, 16-15 in favor of the Little Giants at the break. It was 10-7 in favor of the Bombers at the end of one, but it was a 9-5 second quarter swing for the Little Giants. Canton paced by the 9 points of Miles Hoop. 5 for Colin Johnson and 2 for Zeke Grady. For the Bombers, 10 for Braden Holthouse, 3 for Nolan Hogue, and 2 for Drew Watson. 16-15, Bombers trail it by 1. Little Giants up by 1, 16-15 here at the break.
All right, well, we are going to step away for a quick break, and we'll be back to chat things over before we start the second half between the Bombers and Little Giants. Game 6 of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We're going to send it over to Mr. Dwayne Hulett there with Jeremy
All right, welcome
Anderson.
back here. Sorry about the problems with the microphone on the interview going into the half, but coming out, we're here with Coach Jeremy Anderson. Coach, you guys had a decent little lead there, it seemed like, but Canton came roaring back.
That's what this is going to be all about, Dwayne. Going to be a war of attrition, right? Possession for possession. It's going to be knockdown, drag out. So we're going to have to do a little bit better job.
I think some people thought this might be an easier game for you, but every time I've heard you talk about this game, you didn't think that was going to be the case.
I knew better. I know way better than that. We got a dogfight on our hands.
Good luck second half.
Thank you.
Well, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Dwayne, and always good to hear from Coach Jeremy Anderson there, the Macomb Bombers, as they are down by 1 here to the Canton Little Giants. This has been a back-and-forth game this first half.
Well, it's kind of what we expected. When Macomb and Canton, you kind of can throw those records out the window. It's just, Canton always, no matter who's coaching over on that sideline for the Little Giants, they're going to play some good physical basketball, and they've done it thus far in this opening half.
100% from the free throw line for the Canton Little Giants. They've made a couple. And for Macomb, 3 for 4 at the charity stripe.
Nolan Hogue with all 3 of the free throws made for the Bombers.
It will be, I believe, Macomb basketball to start the second half. And a close game here, Game 6 of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. Drew Watson right in front of us there as he will inbound it to none other than Braden Holthouse, who had a great first half for Macomb. Looks like all 5 of the same starters for both squads back out to start half number 2. And a quick foul here early on. That's going to be on Drew Watson.
That'll be his first, team's first.
An early foul there for Watson, only 14 seconds in to the third. Bringing things up is Otto for Canton. One of the 2 Ottos, of course. There are 2. Twins, of course.
Gavin, number 3, and Lakin, number 10.
That was Lakin with a basketball now to Johnson, driving towards the basket. Shot up a little short. But Lakin Otto with a second chance bucket can't get it to fall. And Macomb away with the possession there. It is Hogue with the rebound and dishes it off to Braden Holthouse. Bombers the other way, down by 1. Lambert dishes it off to Watson, 3 no good. And Conley just kind of went up there to toss it back in and couldn't get it to fall. Watson again for 3. It's off a little too much. Hogues with the 3rd chance, I believe. Bucket is good, or 4th choice. There.
With 5 and a back and forth. Here we go again in the second half. Bombers up by 1.
Offensive boards may be the determination in the second half.
As Jeremy Anderson said, possession by possession, right? And this was going to be like it has been this second half. It's just been possession, and score.
Hoops with 2 there, and now 11 for Hoops in the contest for Canton.
It is Nolan Hogue with a basketball. He'll swing it up there to Malachi Conley going to the baseline. He's working with Lakin Otto. Loses his dribble. Going to kick it back out. That's Holthouse. Red hot from 3 and cashes for Braden Holthouse.
13 now for Holthouse on the sports corner 3 and a 2-point Bomber lead.
13 of the 20 belong to Braden Holthouse, who wears number 12 of the Bombers. Lakin Otto dishes it out. Colin Johnson, 3 up and off to the right a little bit.
Good hustle there by Lakin.
Was able to get the offensive rebound, put up the shot, no good. And Lambert was thinking about chucking it down the court, but instead puts it in his back pocket and dishes it off to Watson, who goes to the basket. And what a shot for Drew Watson, who gives the Bombers a 4-point lead.
4 for Watson now and a 4-point lead, as you said, John, 22-18 for the Bombers.
That was good to see Drew take it to the hoop. He struggled from the perimeter so far. That time he just made up his mind he was going to go as far as he could.
Was able to finish beautifully at the rim. Watson with his 4th point of the night, as Chris said, and I believe that's Nichols who's drawing the contact from the Macomb defender, and he will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Nolan Hogue whistled for his second, team number 2 here in the third quarter.
We've had a good day of basketball here at Western Hall. It's been a fun first day, and of course we were back at it again tomorrow, 9 a.m. And how about let's do it again on Saturday as well? We'll be here for championship day on Saturday.
I'm already looking forward to some of the matchups we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
it
think
should be.
we're going to see some dandy ball games, and I think we're going to see the first one on the championship side of things tomorrow when the Illini West heads up, I think it's Rock Ridge.
Yep. Illini West and Rock Ridge, they'll play tomorrow at 4 p.m., and that should be a good one. Both of those squads bringing home wins. Illini West beat Brown County, and Rock Ridge took care of Camp Point Central 70-25. And
nice block by Nickel.
Yeah, the block by Nichols, but the putback there by Nolan Hogue, who says, I got your back, pal, and lays it in 24-20. The Bombers have extended their lead 24-20, and now a traveling violation, a turnover. It'll be Bomber basketball.
I think both coaches, though, right now probably got to be pulling their hair out, just the amount of offensive rebounds we're seeing on each end.
So a lot of offensive rebounds on one possession down here by Canton to early start the game off and kind of set the tone for them, but Macomb with a good answer back. Langdon Lambert with two there.
Nice give and go from Watson on the play. And Coach Cruz is going to take a timeout here with 4:33 to go as the Bombers have pushed the lead to 6. We're brought to you by McDonough District Hospital, their athletic trainers, and MWHT Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to all area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at MDH.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than a hospital care, a hospital caring.
Well, just for the record, before it becomes official with the stat crew, Bombers have already matched their entire first half field goal total with 5 here so far in the third quarter.
See, the scoring's starting to pick up, like we talked about, a really good defensive game early on, but the scoring's starting to open up now, 26-20, and we had a lower score to start the period off, to start the half, but scoring's picking up. The defense is starting to slip a little bit, so we'll see how it pans out for the final 12.
11-4 run for the Bombers here in the second half.
They've matched their largest lead of the game.
That 6-point lead they had, 13-7. There's a foul against Miles Hoops, who just kind of shoved Brady Holthouse there as he was going for the basketball, and it'll be a
That's
foul.
going to be Holthouse.
Oh, yes, Holthouse going to pick that foul.
And that's his first, team's third here in the third quarter.
Excuse me. Into the backcourt there. Nichols fires it back there for Otto, who will bring things up for the Little Giants. 4:13 left here in the third. Lincoln swinging over there to Hoops, now to Nichols at the top. He's guarded by Holthouse. Nichols driving baseline. Nice little bounce pass there. Was looking for Gandy, but couldn't get it to fall as it was kicked away. Otto put up the jumper, no good. A little float shot from Otto, couldn't get it. And Watson brings things the other way for Macomb. Watson kicks it out. Holthouse to Conley. Towards the basket and can't get it to fall. Rebound to Otto. Little Giants the other way with Nichols. In the corner, guarded by Holthouse. He will kick it down low to Gandy. He's got the size advantage on Hogue. Loses his dribble. Kick it out to Otto. Now to the other Otto. 13 on the shot clock. Otto working with Conley. Blocked by Hogue. Turnover. Macomb basketball. Bombers the other way. The pace starting to pick up a little bit. You see both squads starting to find their groove. Hogue in the corner dishes it out to Conley. Conley guarded by Gandy. Now dish it to Hogue. Watson dribbling baseline, working with Gandy, goes to the back there for Drew Watson for 2.
Well, we see Watson again trying to drive it. That time he was able to get to the baseline. Nice little reverse up and under.
And he had the size disadvantage there. Gandy, the sophomore, just standing over him, but was able to maneuver underneath the basket and get the 2 to fall. There's Gandy. He's guarded by Lambert, going to the basket and gets it. Zeke Gandy, the sophomore, with the bucket.
Well, that breaks about a 3-minute scoring drought for the Little Giants.
Offensive foul on the Bombers and a little bit of a line change coming in. Leinbach, Hobson, and that is Elby for Macomb.
Holthouse whistle for the foul, his second, team's fourth.
Coach Anderson trying to keep some fresh legs out there. We mentioned in the first half the way Canton likes to push the ball, and this way he's hoping maybe buy a few minutes here at the end of the third quarter.
And a 30-second timeout. We can tell you about Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's local original sports bar is Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games in all the area at TSSR Game Time live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb.
Sports Corner, one of my favorite places to come
Absolutely.
back to. Always love to sit down there and have a nice bite to eat and watch a lot of sports. And of course, when I watch my sports teams, though, I just get sad. You know, big Chicago sports fan myself. So.
Let's hope they're watching TSSR right now.
Yeah, see, there you go. Get some good coverage out here at Western Hall. 28-22. We got a good game here as well. Bombers lead by 6. They were 8-2 coming into this one, so against the 4-6 Little Giants. But what a game so far with just about 10 minutes left total in this one. Gandy going to work against Lambert, almost got it to fall. Otto with a putback and a foul.
Lincoln Otto, a good job following up on the Gandy miss.
Another offensive rebound, and this time a chance for a three-point play to close it to within 3.
We're going to have a quick replay here on the screen, and now Watson will bring things back the other way for Macomb as he'll dish it out there to Hobson, now to Watson. And to Holthouse up top, 1:30 left in the third, 20 on the shot clock. Hobson over to Holthouse on the left wing. Up top to Elby, who's recently checked in. 80 seconds left. 7 on the shot clock. Down low. Nice move by Elby. Can't get it to fall. Rebound fought for on the floor, and Nichols away with a rebound for the Little Giants, who pushed it ahead the floor. Otto swinging across the other way. And the other Otto, that's, I believe, Gavin Otto, who lays that one in, number 3. Little Giants only down by 2 as that one rims out by Holthouse. Gandy got a fist on it and is able to just dish it back into Otto. 43 on the game clock. Otto to the basket, nice find. Gavin Otto, the shot clock is off.
Tied at 28.
I don't think Jeremy's very happy after that one. That was almost too easy. Now Canton's answered with an 8-0 run to tie this game up.
28-28 with 13. They're going to take the last shot here, I believe, if you're Macomb. 10-4.
I'm going to get a hold on the floor with 8 seconds to play.
Little Giant foul there. It's going to be on Otto.
Lakin, his first team foul on Canton here in the third.
Yeah, so with, getting 7 minutes and 52 seconds into it, or 53 seconds without a foul is pretty good for Canton. Drew Watson, though, cashes in to give the Bombers the lead after 3. It is 30-28. Macomb leads after 3. We will take a look at some unofficial stats here as we get ready for the final 8 minutes of Game 6 of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament.
Bombers outscored the Little Giants 15-12 in the quarter. 6 for Drew Watson, 4 for Nolan Hogue, 3 for Braden Holthouse, and 2 for Langdon Lambert for the Bombers. Gavin Otto with 4, 2 each for Logan Nichols, Lakin Otto, Miles Hoops and Zeke Gandy. 30-28 Bombers, 2-point lead. It'll be Little Giant basketball as we head to the fourth.
A really back and forth game, and really, like Anderson said at the half with the interview with Dwayne, was possession by possession. It's been going back and forth throughout this.
Right, and that quarter was a run. Canton got on that little bit of run. Bombers pushed it out 11-4 advantage at one point, and then Canton, as Arlen mentioned, Bombers kind of went cold, and the Little Giants on an 8-0 run. Before that, Drew Watson, 2 right before the end of the quarter break.
Well, if you're a Bomber fan, I think seeing what Drew did there in the last minute, when he hit the first one, it was waved off, but then he hit the one at the buzzer. They're going to need Drew, I think, here in this fourth quarter, and it looks like his confidence may be starting to come back on the perimeter.
And a couple of Bombers slipping over each other there down low, and a jump ball tie-up. It'll be Macomb basketball on the jump ball tie-up.
That could have been disastrous for Macomb there. You got 2 guys on the Clyde at the left wing and able to come up with a jump ball and to get the basketball in the alternating possession.
And no injury as well. Both guys fine getting up after tripping over each other. So lucky for the Macomb Bombers, who now have a 2-point lead going the other way, and a reaching foul there on Otto.
It's going to be on Lake and Otto, number 10, his second, team's first.
I think Holthouse, no, he got by that one. That passed just a little on the lazy side, but Drew Watson able to corral it and draw the foul.
Yeah, Lakin was thinking of that steal and able to score at the other end, but just ran into Drew a little bit too much, draw too much contact to pick up the foul there. 7:20 is left here in the fourth as Hogue will dish it out there to Holthouse, who's guarded by Gavin Otto. Now to Conley. Deep 3 is just a little short as it hit off the front of the rim. Little Giants the other way. Otto has it pickpocketed by Conley, who goes the other way. Holthouse is blocked, but a foul.
That's going to be on Lake and Otto, I believe, his third.
Second in just about 20 seconds as well for Lake and Otto.
Good job by Conley that time to get the ball underneath the basket, push the ball down the floor, and Holthouse goes to the line to shoot 2.
Holthouse will rim out the first one there.
Bombers 3 of 5 from the line here in the contest.
We saw kind of a replay there of the foul there as that sent Holthouse to the line. 31-28, the Bombers up by 3, under 7 to go from Western Hall. Game 6 of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament on the first day of basketball, 3-day tournament here in Macomb. Counted a foul for Lake and Otto.
By Lincoln Otto.
Great finish by Otto at the rim, able to get the basket to fall, and now has a chance at a 3-point play and to tie the game at 31.
Foul on Nolan Hogue, his third, team's first.
Otto misses the free throw there, the potential chance to tie the game. 31-36-35 left here in the fourth. Watson puts up the shot, no good, ball out of bounds, and it's going to be Canton basketball.
Drew Watson pleading with the official, thinking he says it went off a Canton player, but the official said no, we're going the other way.
Did not get the call there by Danner, who did not have a good look at it as he was on the other end of the court. 6:14 left here in the fourth, 31-30. And a traveling violation by Johnson, turnover for Canton. We had a full house here in Western Hall, specifically behind us. Of course, that's where all these Bomber fans are sitting, you know.
Pretty decent turnout on both sides
I'd
in the
say
end
so.
zones as well.
Of course, you got some of the squads who'll be battling it up after this. The Game after us is the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans and the West Hancock squad. And count it, and a foul for Malachi Conley. He'll go to the free throw line for a chance to complete the three-point play.
Well, I think Canton's willing to let Conley kind of roam free outside. They know that he's maybe not quite the shooter the rest of them are. At that time, he was left wide open, able to draw the foul and score the bucket.
And completes the three-point play, so he's able to make the free throw to extend the lead here for the Bombers. They lead it by 4.
First 3 points for Conley on the evening.
So they come here potentially in a crucial time, about 5:40 left, but could be a big basket for Macomb. Johnson the other way. Can't get it to fall. Might have got away with an extra step and gets it back. Offensive rebound for Macomb. Bodies all over the floor. 3 for Otto is off the rim, or off the right side of the backboard, no good. Conley swinging across the court there to Watson, who has it almost poked away there by Otto, who, good defense, was able to kick it out of his hands. Just no turnover. 13 on the shot clock. Conley working with Gandy. Step back jumper is good. Malachi Conley, and hey, he's starting to heat up there. He's got the last 5 for Macomb, who has extended their lead 36-30.
And a timeout going to be taken by Canton.
Macomb starting to win the possessions back-to-back, and thanks to the hand of Malachi Conley, who has got the last 5 to give Macomb a 6-point lead.
Full timeout, and we can tell you about Ron LB Auto Sales with locations of Macomb and Augusta. And with over 80 years of car sales experience, Ron LB Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.ronlb.com to check out their inventory. Also, Spoon River College with campuses in Canton and Macomb, including the building going under construction on the east end on Jackson Street here in Macomb. They offer a great start for all area college students, both academically and athletically. Find out more online at src.edu or give them a call, 309-649-6400.
Both squads break the timeout. The full timeout taken by the Little Giants of Canton as they chat things over on the big, I guess you could say almost a momentum shift for the Macomb Bombers.
You know, the thing I like about Malachi Conley, though, is his quickness. You know, he's always going to be near the ball, but you count on him defensively. But it's a big pick-me-up for Jeremy Anderson's squad those last 2 trips to see him also put the ball through the hoop.
And that's going to draw some defense to him and maybe potentially leave another guy open, as Macomb with a lot of weapons. Holthouse was looking there to get the shot from Watson, couldn't get it though. There's Drew with the basketball at the top of the key. He's guarded by Hoops, kick it out. Holthouse 3 is up, no good. Rebound to the Little Giants, who come the other way with a full head of steam, and a foul against Drew Watson right here next to us on the side of the sideline.
A little reach-in foul is going to be the second on Watson, team foul number 2.
I think that was a good foul, actually, by Drew that time, because if the guy gets by him, he had pretty much a clear shot at the hoop.
An open court was in the head of Otto, who had the steal. But the foul there by Watson, able to, a little bit of reverse pass to himself was Otto, and there was Hoops, so now we have a little bit of a football competition, that one going all the way down the court.
Holthouse on the receiving end for once.
Right.
Holthouse corralled the pass, and Macomb will set up the offense here. 19 seconds on the shot clock, 3:50 on the game clock in a 6-point game, and a turnover. Here come the Little Giants the other way. Dish it to Nichols, who lays it up, lays it in.
Points for number 1, Logan Nichols.
30-second timeout taken by the Canton Little Giants. We will also keep it right here, and the Little Giants starting to sneak back into this one. Macomb kind of getting a little sloppy on the offensive end, and Canton taking advantage of that.
Yeah, what we've seen from the start is this all about runs in this game. We've seen a little bit of a run here by the Little Giants in the last few minutes here in the fourth quarter. to get back to just a 4-point deficit.
Well, we saw the Bombers start off the fourth period, on a 6-2 run. Now Canton's just kind of hanging around, both teams turning the ball over, and we look up 36-32, just less than halfway in the period. And, I think when you remember what Dwayne talked to Jeremy about, he knew exactly what to expect. I think most of us kind of figured out what kind of game this would be. We just didn't know to what extent.
A low-scoring affair here between the Bombers and Canton Little Giants as opposed to the other scoring contests we've had today in the first 5 or 6 games of the holiday tournament. A defensive first game, and it's been really well so far. Conley, jumper up, no good. Hogue with a rebound, second chance. He is fouled by Colin Johnson of the Little Giants, and he will head to the free throw line for 2 big free throws.
Second on Johnson, team's 4th.
Colin, the 6-foot senior. Hogue's first free throw is good, so a big free throw there.
4 or 5 for Nolan in the contest for the Bombers.
80% is pretty good at the free throw line. At least out of 5 attempts, I would say. Probably want to be a little higher than that if you're a guard like Hogue is. And second one is up a little. And so now he's down to 67%. So
Bombers there with a rebound to Hullhouse.
all part of the play here is, you miss the make the first one, miss the second, walk away with more than 2. We'll see if it works out for the Bombers.
Well, even more important, the fact now Macomb High can run a little more clock.
We're down under 3 minutes to play.
Hogue dishes it out over now. Back to Hogue here. 8 seconds. Holthouse, 5 on the shot clock. Watson, 3 is good.
3.
It does work out for Macomb. Yes.
Sports Corner 3 for Drew Watson.
Bodies are all over the floor. This is a physical one down here. Oh, my goodness. What is going on? It's Conley who just throws it up to Holthouse. Can't get it to fall. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What is going on here?
It was like an ongoing scrum in rugby.
2:14 and the gym excites and it gets loud in here. Bodies all over the floor, almost trying to stop a running back there from getting through the crease as the ball just kept getting all over the place. Bombers with the possession. Watson is fouled by, I believe that's going to go against Nichols.
That'll be his first, but team foul number 5 of the Little Giants, so free throws the remainder of the fourth quarter for the Bombers.
Nichols is the second tallest on the Canton Little Giant squad. Second to Dimitri Pico, the 6'5" senior. We've not seen him yet. We're going to get a replay of the foul here in between shots as Watson is at the free throw line. We'll take a look at that. Watson's first one is good.
Oh, my.
12 now for Watson, 10 of those coming here in the second half.
That's a club member's bounce right there.
Absolutely.
Watson's second one is a little short, and it is Hoops with the rebound, 41-32. So if you're Canton here, you got to walk away with some points and come away with something. You're down by 9 with about 100 seconds left in this one. Otto trying to drive, can't get it to fall, and now Macomb clears with a rebound.
Well, if you're the Bombers right now, that's what you got to do. Give up the only one shot and make sure you block out.
And now use some of that 30-second shot clock down to 20 with 1:28 to play.
Watson will dish it up to Conley. He's guarded by Lake and Otto. Up at the top, and that's going to be a reaching foul on Otto.
That's going to be 4 on Lake and Otto.
That is the 6th foul, but of course over 5, we're going to be shooting free throws. That is, the 4th foul, like you said there on Otto.
I'll tell you what, guys, I've been very impressed with Canton's man-to-man defense today. I think it's been the best defense I've seen. Bombers have really struggled all afternoon trying to find an open man.
Especially, against the tough Macomb team. You know, they're well coached, Coach Anderson there, and obviously always seem to have a good offensive performance and just a really good defensive game for like you said, for Canton.
Big there for Malachi Conley. Hits both to push the lead to 11, 43-32. See Hobson and Elby in for the Bombers.
Lincoln Otto will bring things up for the Little Giants. They are down by 11. Ball out of bounds. It's going to stay here.
Well, from what I've seen in this game, though, if Canton should go ahead and lose and end up in the consolation bracket, they're going to be a tough opponent for anybody on that side the rest of the way.
Definitely say so. The winner plays Mercer County tomorrow at 7, and the loser will play Pittsfield, who played a really tough Mercer County team earlier this evening. So that should be a good one to watch tomorrow.
Mercer County, I believe, probably the best perimeter shooting team I've seen so far today.
They were very close to breaking that record set by Jacksonville in 1981 on the field goal percentage of 75%, and they were right there at, I think, about 72, I think is what they finished with. I don't know. I'd have to ask BJ.
Colin Johnson going to be whistled for the foul for the Little Giants, his third. Conley, 3 of 3 from the line here in the fourth quarter for the Bombers.
And that may be an announcer jinx. No, it's not, of course. It's Malachi Conley with the make there to save Chris.
I'll tell you what, it's nice to see Malachi step up in the fourth quarter because he's played a big difference in allowing the Bombers to eventually pull it away.
He misses the second, of course, so it's one off on the announcer jinx.
That 3 no good for Elby, or excuse me, for the Little Giants. Elby was in coverage there in the defense, and now we see a new substitution. Langdon Lambert is back in for Macomb, who wears number 25. 24.9 seconds left on the clock, 44-32.
Joy Baker, thanks for showing the cheerleaders. Got a couple of chats in there. Dante Drake watching from Springfield.
Dante, a long-time watcher.
Yep. He watches a lot of our TSSR broadcast.
Always love to hear from Dante, and I believe I've heard Joy in the chat a few of the Macomb games I've covered, so always nice to see some familiar faces in the live chat.
Holthouse to the line for 2 for the Bombers.
You know, I think another difference in this game, fellows, is the fact that Jeremy was able to use his bench, I think, a little more effectively. And because it's a little bit deeper, he was able to get some extra minutes, get some rest, so they could still put up and defend against this up-tempo Canton game.
Absolutely. Holthouse at the free throw line and makes that one 46-32. It's a 14-point lead for Macomb.
As we see Hobson, Cooper Hobson back for the Bombers.
Hobson wearing the double deuces there for Cooper.
Well, Canton got it to win 31-30 to start the period, and since then they've only had 1 field goal.
That 3 is up, no good for Hoops, and Macomb going to dribble it out, and we are going to have a couple of post-game interview here with Mr. Dwayne Hulett. We will find him in a moment. The final of this one, the Macomb Bombers win 46-32. They will move on in the tournament champions. They defeat Canton. They will play Mercer County tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Western Hall.
That will be an entertaining ball game.
Absolutely. We'll have it right here on TSSR Game Time Live. And then we will also have Canton playing Pittsfield, which should also be a very good game. That's at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So all of them will be right here. We will look for Mr. Dwayne Hulett. There he is. We'll see who he wants to grab. I think he's going to grab Jeremy Anderson. Yes, he is, the victorious coach of the Macomb Bombers. And we will.
Well, hang on.
Jeremy said, wait a minute. I already talked to you once.
He's going to grab Mr. Dwayne Hulett and Jeremy Anderson. You're good to go.
Coach Anderson, well, you said it was going to be a dogfight, man. It proved to be.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Canton has to survive in the Middle Illini. You know, they're going to be physical. They're going to play really good team defense, and so you have to bring your A game in order to get baskets. You know, and baskets are at a premium in this tournament. Unforgiving rims, different shooting environment. So you better be ready to execute your stuff, and the soft need not apply when you play in Canton in a tough game like this. So I thought our guys in the second half did a really good job defensively. We still need to limit them to one opportunity per possession, but we'll take the win. You
depended on Braden Holthouse, it seemed like quite a bit in the first half. I heard his name a lot, kind of mixed it up a little bit and got a few more guys involved, more importantly, in the scoring column, too.
I think Malachi and Drew both played really well in the second half of that game. They made huge shots, right? Malachi made a couple huge shots on the two-man game. Drew made that huge shot right there at the end of the shot clock that just gave us a little bit of momentum. And in a game like this, a 6-point lead may seem like, 12 or 14 in a regular game. So those are huge plays.
Well, congratulations. All 4 seeds are moving on. That means you got some competition waiting for you, but you knew that already, right?
That's what this tournament's all about, Dwayne. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Congratulations. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Dwayne. Thank you, Jeremy, for the great post-game interview there. The final of this one, 46-32. The Macomb Bombers are victorious. We'll go ahead and look at a couple of late stats here.
Dwayne mentioned that, and I was going to bring that up here when we came back over here, but it was really Brayton Holthouse kept the Bombers in the contest in that first half, as he ends with 16, but he had 10 of those in the first half. And talking about Malachi Conley and Drew Watson, Drew finishes with 12 points in the contest, 10 of those in the second half. Malachi Conley, all 8 of his points coming in the fourth quarter down the stretch to the Bombers.
So clutch for Malachi Conley, the points when you need them, right? And Malachi proving that. So we're going to look at some replays here on the monitor for the final of this one. We'll look at some of those here in just a moment, and we'll see if our monitor will turn on.
Neither monitor that's been here today has worked very well. It cuts in and out on us. So,
but nonetheless, we'll be able to get those replays to you so you can take a look at some of the big scores and the big plays of this one.
Trying to pull up my Fonzie on it and see if we could just tap it just right to get
Well, that monitor's probably older than me, which I can understand why it's not working too well. But, let's going back to talking about Malachi and Drew real quick. And, Malachi's showing some senior leadership out there, too. You don't expect a lot of points out of him, but he did show when you need it, I can provide those points. And I like the way Drew Watson came out, struggled from the perimeter in the first half. He came out and kind of adjusted his mindset. Instead of standing on the perimeter, decided to start working the ball inside against that man-to-man, was able to hit a couple of shots. Kind of seemed like he got his confidence. And then I think he ended up 1 of 3 from the three-point line in the second half, but he did score 10 points in the second half, which helped going down the stretch.
Well, and that was key. I think what you mentioned at one point there, Arlen, the shot early in the second half for Drew wasn't falling. And then he decided he had 3 field goals, 2-point field goals, but all 3 on getting the ball to the basket. That really nice reverse layup there. And, like you said, the outside shot maybe not falling for Drew early in that second half, but he decided, I'm going to start taking the ball to the hole a little more, and it paid dividends for the Bombers and for Watson.
So for this one, the Macomb Bombers win 46-32. They move on to the tournament, the winning side of the tournament bracket. We will have the West Hancock Titans and the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans live from Western Hall here in about 14 minutes. We will be on a separate stream, though, right here on TSSR Game Time Live. For the fine crew here with TSSR Game Time Live, you have watched the presentation of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament presented by MDH.